Hi, I'm Gary and welcome to Jargon Free Help. Now, many of you take lots of photos. You're either enthusiasts, you like to do it professionally, or it's a bit of a hobby, and you have to do it today by going onto the computer afterwards and transferring it on there, unless of course you're one of those people that hasn't actually gone digital. But switching on the computer can be a bit of a pain in the neck, and you just want to transfer them straight away, or you want to see them when you're out and about, or perhaps you want to see them when you're on holiday and you don't want to wait until you get back. So what can you do about it? Well, there is actually the iPad, which is a great device. There are many devices out there for actually taking what you've got on a card and actually transferring it over, or from your camera and transferring it over. But the iPad, many of you have probably seen them now, they do the photographs really well, and you can see photographs really well. But wouldn't it be great to be able to just take those photos and transfer them straight onto the iPad? Well, you can. Apple actually does have a camera connection kit, and you get these two things in here, and if you're in the UK they cost about £25, and I have to say, great value. So you get one which is for putting SD cards in here, which is very popular on many cameras, and just popping that in and then plugging it into the iPad, which we're going to do in a moment. And there's also this one here for connecting a camera. Now, you can connect it via a lead, USB lead, and it probably is a special one that comes with the camera. But you do need to check, definitely worth a Google search or checking with Apple to make sure whether or not you can actually do that. Not all cameras are compatible, but I have to say a lot are. Now, I tried it on mine, which is a digital SLR, and it didn't actually do it. I must admit, I was being in a bit of a hurry, and I was actually keen to see as well if it would work in something like this card reader, where I could then just take the card, which you can see is a compact flash here, and pop it in and read it on here. And Apple don't really publicise this, but actually it worked. I'm not saying it's going to work for all of you, but it did work for me, so it's definitely worth something trying out. Card readers are not expensive, and I have to say this camera connection kit's not that expensive as well, and I'm sure, although I haven't tested or checked with anyone, that if it doesn't work you can probably take it back. So just how simple is it? Well, there's a little cap here on the card reader, and I simply turn on the iPad and I pop this into the dock where you normally connect up to synchronize, and that will now be ready for me to plug in the card reader here, which I'm going to do. Just going to plug that in there. Just be careful really that you're not doing anything that might actually damage the connections here, like bending it. I've got this at a bit of an angle. I'm now going to put the card in, and I'll just see what happens then. And as soon as I do, what will happen, it will then fire up, and up it pops, and you can see that it's now loading the pictures. These can take a while depending on the size of the photographs you've got, but actually I've not sped anything up here, and you can actually see that it is actually loading on here. Any that you've already transferred have a tick next to them and they're in red. And if you want to select any others, you just simply tap on them and you see they're a different colour there. And once you've done that, you've selected the ones you want, and you can scroll through, just like as if you're scanning through the photographs. You can actually tap on import, and you'll see it comes up here saying import all or import selected. Well, obviously I've selected some, so I'm going to choose import selected, and you'll see the button changes to stop import, so you can stop it at any time, and you'll see it progressing through. And you get the little spinning wheel on each one, and if I wait long enough, there you go, it says that it's done. Don't want to delete them. If I delete them, it'll remove it from the card, or if it's a camera, I want to keep these, so I'm just going to tap on keep. Now I can go to my albums, and I can see the last import there, and I can select these to view them. You see, look, don't they look great? That's fantastic quality, isn't it? And that's the great thing about the iPad, is it's just fantastic for this. But I could also now email it in the usual way. I can just tap on that email button there, which is actually my share button, tap on it, tap on the email button in the top left here, and email will fire up and I'll be able to send those off. There you go. Isn't that just great? The iPad does make it really simple. I also synchronize these back onto my laptop as well, which is a Mac. So there was iPhoto there, but the PC has something as well for transferring photos back. And I have to say the photos were in the same quality that I'd taken them in the first place. So I didn't actually have to take the card now again and put it onto the computer if I wanted higher quality. It just transferred them all over, which is just making life so much easier. So there's the iPad. great for looking at photos, great for actually being able to transfer them now. And I'm sure there are some programs, apps out there that actually cover things like making alterations to it, and I'm sure that's going to improve a lot. I know that Steve Jobs did sort of hint at the fact in an interview that more was coming to be able to do proper editing on these. And you can print from here as well. Wireless printers will allow you to print. There are apps for that, but in the new software update they're coming for the iPad, you're going to be able to print from there as well. They're going to have a printing app in there built in. So that's fantastic, but you do just need to check that your camera is compatible. Sometimes it's just worth getting and actually trying it out. You can probably go into an Apple store and try it, or just Google to see if it's worked or not. I personally think it's great. And it also covers this week's app of the week, which is the whole app and also this camera connection kit built in. So on to this week's new tutorials. This week I've been paying attention to Office 2010. A lot of things I do in Office 2010, that includes Word, Excel, Access and PowerPoint, work the same in 2007 as well. So whenever I sort of mention 2010, it covers 2007. A lot of you are getting it, a lot of you are getting confused by this ribbon that they've introduced. They introduced it in 2007 and it threw quite a few people off. They've made a slight alteration in 2010 and they've put a file tab in there as well, which they didn't have in 2007. But there are a lot of extra features in both of these products, and some people, well, they're getting onto it and the ribbon is confusing them, so hopefully I'm clearing some of those up for you. There is an overview of Office 2010 to help you get started, and there is another one for Excel as well. I've also got charts. Creating charts in Excel 2010 and 2007 is different to how you do it in 2003 and previous versions where there is a chart wizard. So if you're thinking about getting it or think that you are having problems with it, then definitely have a look. Think that you're having problems with it. If you are having problems with it, then go and have a look. So check those out. As always, I'm adding more to that. And now you know, if you're thinking about getting an iPad, or if you're into photography and you haven't got an iPad, or you do, now you know what it can do. And I must admit, I've got this. I wish I would have got this sooner. It's great. Don't forget, all these videos are for you, so if you do have any questions, do drop me a line via the website. You just have to go to the website, choose contact, there's a form there, just fill it out and I'll get an email. I'm sorry I can't answer all those emails. I'll try and answer everything I can in the podcast. So don't forget, these are for you. Thanks for watching, see you next week and happy computing.